So, story time, y'all. So, I'm a server, and I came across this guy. He came into my job one day, and basically, he came into my job, sat with me, didn't know he knew me. He was very low-key, put his order in, vice, da 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 da. So he starts, you know, putting more drinks in, and he asks me, he's like, no, he doesn't ask me, he tells me. And he's like, oh, I follow your page. And I'm like, ooh, what page? It was a motivational page I had opened up before. And I was like, oh, okay, what's your Instagram? He kind of bypassed that, didn't want to tell me his Instagram. But he's like, oh yeah, I'm like really into like, you know, what you be posting, like it's good. So me being nice, I'm like, oh my god, thank you. Like I'm very humble, so I'm like, thank you, like da da da. So then he starts asking me, you have a boyfriend? At the time I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't have a boyfriend, but I was talking to my current boyfriend, but he wasn't my boyfriend. So no, I was like, no, I don't have a boyfriend, blah 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 blah. And he's like, oh, me either. I was like, oh, so I asked him, I was like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Just, you know, you asked me, I'm gonna ask you. I didn't really care at all, honestly, respectfully. Wasn't my type for even a day or the next day or even, you know, the next century. But he was like, no, I got this one girl, we off and on, but you know, nothing serious. I was like, oh, okay, any kids? He's like, nah, no kids right now. Like, I'm, you know, I'm just focusing on me. Like, no kids right now. So I was like, oh, okay, you know. He tipped me $30, you know. It was nothing more, nothing less. Didn't give him my number. I don't give guys just my number, just have my number. Like, I'm not into that. So I was just like, okay. So he comes in maybe 2 weeks later. Comes in, orders food. So this time he's more talkative. So he's like, yo, I think I live right by you. I'm like, word? In my head, I'm like, you're weird. Like, how do you know where I live at? Like, first I met you, you act like you didn't know me. Then you said you knew my Instagram. Now you're saying you live by me? Like, I'm freaked out now. I'm like, he's like, yeah, like, you know, you drive a, at the time I drove a Jetta. So he's like, you drive a Jetta, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I see you a couple of times. I live down this street, you live down that street. When I tell y'all, my heart was beating like 100 miles per hour. I was like, I'm calling the cops in my head. And I was like, oh, okay, like, So he was still trying to talk to me. He's like, yeah, you know, we should just vibe out. You know, I like to go out sometimes, you know. Like, you know, we can get a drink or food and all that. I'm never going out with no guy I don't know. I've turned down NFL players, NBA players, going on dates. Like, I'm very sketchy about going on dates with guys that I don't really know. Because, one, we can go out for drinks. I don't know what your, you know, your agenda is at the end of the date, but I'm going home. So, I don't know. Like, I've had people try to have me in freaking hotels with them. Like, what are you doing with a guy you don't know staying in a 2-day hotel all the way in Clearwater Beach? You think you're just twiddling your thumbs? Like, girls be setting themselves up for the failure, or they know what they be doing and they just be on that. Yeah, I ain't one of them. So anyways, so he was like, you know, we can go out for drinks. We could, you know, we just could, you know, vibe out. I'm like, no, thank you. Y'all, tell me how. I'm on Facebook one day, scrolling, and I see a picture of this man with a girl that went to school with my brother, and they have 3 kids. When you talk about shook, yo, I couldn't believe it. I called my mom. I was like, yo, guys really be lying on their kids? I understand lying on the girlfriend, and I'm not even for that, but guys do that sometimes. Your kids? Nah. Not the kids. I've never been so disgusted in my life. Like, I was just like, wow, like, guys out here really be selling girls' dreams. And that's how I know that sometimes girls really don't know that men are married. Because, well, one thing first, you're not doing your research. If I actually did like that guy and I thought he was cute or something, I would have done my research. Like, I would, what's your Instagram? What's your name? I'm doing a whole, I'm an FBI around here. FBI night. I'm gonna find your mama, your daddy, your granny, your dog. I might even find your, where you live at, respectfully, because I want to know. I'm not gonna be, you know, laid up with a psychopath. I'm not gonna be hanging out with a killer. I'm not gonna be hanging out with, you know, someone that has a worn out, like, I'm not gonna be out hanging out with someone like that. So I, you know, I would do my research. So I really don't know how girls fall for that, but I do say I see how girls can fall sometimes because guys really do be lying. So y'all, I was just so disgusted, and that guy had came back into my job like a couple times, and I'm like, don't say him with me, because he don't want to hear my mouth. By the time I talk to him, I mean, I promise he might even try to like call my manager around here, because I'm gonna curse him out. I'm gonna curse him out in a respectful way. I'm gonna be like, yo, you don't love your kids? Like, you got all those kids over there, and you gonna lie on every last one of them and lie on her? How disrespectful can you be? Like, how desperate can you be to even, first of all, for you to even think that you have a chance with me, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. 1. 2, for you to even try to risk a whole family, a whole beautiful family, for a young girl that just single working, like, I say that, like, you know, it doesn't even matter about that. Like, to even risk a family just for any type of person, for anybody, like, who does that? Where's the, like, loyalty at? I don't know. So y'all, that was just beyond crazy to me. Like, I couldn't believe that someone really would lie about that. Like, would lie about their family. Like, if I had a husband and I found out he did it, let me tell you something, boo. I'm gonna put him on Instagram Live. I'm gonna post, yes, I'm gonna be extra, because what are you doing? Like, and you're not seeing your kids no more. Since you want to lie about them, since you don't have kids, you really don't now. You don't lost them, because you don't lost privilege to see them. Period. Period. Don't ask to see none of my children. I'm one of them. So y'all, that's my story time. People told me to do a story time, so that is my story time, y'all. And I'll give one more story time. So one more story time is I was at work, y'all, and you know, don't judge a book by its cover, first and foremost. Sometimes you can kind of, you know, judge people based off how they look, but I do want to say don't always do that, because you'll play yourself and God will test you, and that test be brutal. That test be brutal sometimes. Like, I know I do not fall victim no more. I do not fall victim for that. Like, I be giving people, like, okay, because my dad be going out looking a little rough sometimes, but my dad has money, so I wish someone would not try to serve my dad. Period. Next, I was at work and I had this table, nice table. They were simple. They ordered like literally one drink, one beer. His friend ordered a beer, and then they ordered like 10 wings, okay? So I give them their bill. They asked me, how much do you think your tip should be? So me being me, I was raised to not be greedy. So I would never like tell someone a crazy amount of money. So me being me, the tab was only $50. So I was like, $100. I'm gonna say 100. Oh boo, you ain't gonna give me 20. 20 is nothing. I get that on a regular basis. $100 tips every day, that's not as normal for me. So I say $100. He looks at me and he goes, why didn't you say 500? So I look at him and I'm like, I said, well, I don't know. Why would I say 500? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, oh, okay. He tipped me $100. His friend's like, yeah, he could have tipped you $500 because he has money like that. Y'all, I was so shook. I was like, Lord, my birthday coming up. Is that a blessing and a blessing? But y'all, that's my quick story time. I hope y'all enjoyed my little story times. People asked me to do story times, so you better watch this video, sis. And if you want more juicy story times, then like, comment, and subscribe. Let's look at these. Juicy Q&A. This seems interesting to do because I've never done this before. Someone said, okay, so what is the longest you have gone without a shower? The longest I've gone without a shower is, and I've never gone long without a shower. I take a shower every single day. And that is facts. I am like, I can't sleep without a shower. I can't even sleep with the makeup on. My boyfriend knows that. If we go out to the club, I'm taking my makeup off. I don't care how lit I am, I'm taking my makeup off. What is your biggest turn off in a person? My biggest turn off in a person is dirt under their nails. I'm never talking to a guy that has dirt under his nails. I think that's disgusting. If you're working outside and you do construction, then there's obviously duh. But if you're just coming to hang out with me and you have a whole bunch of dirt under your nails, sir, I'm gonna need you to leave my premises right now. I'm gonna need you to go back home, because I don't even want to continue this conversation. And that's a real life thing. Like, I'm big on that. What age did you have your first kiss? My first kiss, I think, was this is so funny, but I honestly think my first kiss was in 6th grade. I'm gonna be 22 right now, so if my dad's watching this, I don't even care. I'm grown, Dad, so you can even get mad at me. So yeah. To your knowledge, have you ever been cheated on? No, to my knowledge, I have never been cheated on, and I'm very thankful, because I honestly would have to kill him. I honestly would have to just, you know, throw some hands, choke up a little piece, you know, because there's just no way that you're just gonna cheat on me and I'm just gonna, like, not touch you. Respectfully, I'm gonna have to do something to you, like, just to let you know, like, I'm done with you, but I'm just gonna let you know that you tried the right one. So yeah, no, I'm not the fucking one. I'm really not. Something gonna get thrown, you gonna get touched. Yeah. So yeah, no, to my knowledge, I have not been cheated on, so I'm thankful for that. Have you ever been loved by someone you didn't love back? Yes, I have. And honestly, it sucks, guys, because you feel so bad, but you're just like, I don't love you. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't love you. I'm sorry you love me. I just don't. How many relationships have I had? I've only had 2 relationships. So the one I'm in right now is my 2nd relationship. So I'm 22 years old and I've only had 2 relationships. So that says a lot about me, okay? That says a lot about me. I'm not big on relationships. I'm not even big on liking people. For me to like someone, like, I have to like you a lot for me to date you. Like, I have to kind of, like, be a little obsessed with you to the point where I'm like, I miss you a lot. Because if not, we're just gonna break up. Because I'm not gonna wanna, if I don't want to see you every day, I don't like you. On period. That's not necessarily true, because I wasn't in a long distance relationship, but it's not that I didn't want to see him every day. It was just, like, long distance. So yeah, let me correct that for, you know, because people are watching this. I don't know who's watching this, and I want people to be like, I'm capping, because I'm not capping. I'm keeping it real all across the board. What do I think is my sexiest feature? I think my sexiest feature is probably my lips. Yeah, probably my lips. What is the best gift I've ever received? Recently, the best gift I've ever received is my iPad that my boyfriend bought me. It's over there on my stand. I love my iPad, y'all. I've always wanted an iPad, and then he just, like, surprised me one day with the iPad, and I love it so much. So what is the relationship with my parents? It says, what is your relationship with your parents like? My relationship with my parents is great. Obviously, we have our ups and downs like anyone. It's not going to be like 100% great, happy-go-lucky, 24/7, 365. Like, this is not a fantasy world. But I'm very close to my mommy and my dad, so yeah, love them. I'm just like, okay.